everybody. Today, I wanted to talk about one of my favorite pieces of content to put together and to use in marketing efforts. And that is the case study, or as some people call it, a testimonial. The reason I love doing the actual case study is because I really do love having the opportunity to talk to clients. I think it's the most interesting part of my job, frankly. I just love understanding how they're using the solution, the different ways in which they use it, because sometimes, a product is designed to solve a certain problem, right? So you develop your product, you go to market with that, you find a product market fit. But what's interesting is that as your product evolves and you add more features and functionality to it, and customers start using it in different, they just start adapting it in their business, they start using it in different ways that you just hadn't conceptualized. And so it opens up this whole opportunity for you to market to a brand new audience, to talk about new use cases, to have different applicability for it. So absolutely 100% love interviewing people for a case study. But the reason I wanted to talk about a case study or testimonial today is because I do think it is probably one of the most powerful ways for a marketer to get their message out there. Because at the end of the day, all of us like to see ourselves using a product or trying to see how we would use it and implement it within our lives, our business, whatever it is, to get the benefits that a product is saying that it's going to give you. So the reason why it's so important in business to do case studies is because, especially today, we value authenticity and trust so much that we need to be able to have that trust in a product, and we need to have a mechanism in order to open ourselves up to that ability to trust. So seeing someone else's story on how they are actually using the solution is very, very powerful. It allows you to see into the thought process of how they went in evaluating a solution, what problems they were trying to solve, how they went about making the decision to go with your solution, and ultimately how they implemented it and what was the benefit that they got out of it. All of that is very authentic. And so sometimes you'll see case studies that don't have a named person in it, and that's usually because the company wants to protect themselves. They don't want to be named as a client necessarily. They don't want to give away like their secret sauce. But even those that are unattributed, those are very powerful because it's a story, and at the end of the day, we need to be creating stories for people to come to us and trust us and see us and see what our solution is able to do. And the case study does that very, very well, and in an authentic way that allows you to start to trust how you're going to actually implement it in your business. Customers also want to see themselves using the solution. So when you're creating case studies and you're thinking about what is going to be this arc that I'm trying to create, you definitely want to make sure that you are not interviewing just the same type of person over and over again. For instance, if you're a cybersecurity company, don't just interview the CISO all the time. Look at other people who are using the solution as well and interview them, because you should know who your buyer is, who your influencer is, who's the gatekeeper in the organization. If they have like a board of people that review purchase decisions, who are those individuals, and have case studies that talk to each one of those. So because you want those buyers or those influencers or whoever they are, whatever part they play in this buying behavior, you want them to see themselves using your solution or somehow being a part of the solution. So make sure that you're writing for all of these different individuals so they see themselves. It also gives you a lot more talking points to go to market once you hear their stories and how they think about using the solution, how they think about making a decision. It gives you so much insight. You also want to be able to, like I said at the top of the call, is like when you're having conversations with these individuals, you may think you're going into the conversation, they're going to be touching on this particular use case. But as you have this conversation, and it really should be a conversation, not like an interview, yes, no, whatever, you want to guide them towards, well, how else do you see how else is the company implementing our solution? Is there a different thing, a different group using it? Are there things that have bubbled up that the solution has been helpful in solving for? Those types of new use cases can feed your, not only your marketing messages, but it can also be information that you provide back to your product team so that they can enhance the solution in a certain way to really break out another use case, and you can get another revenue stream out of that. Like if you have like a completely different use case, you can market to a different audience. You can create more revenue based